Right now in the United States, there are about 1 million homes for sale, okay? There could be another 3 million if more realtors knew how to talk to sellers who also want to buy. The reason that there are so few listings isn't just people are stuck in because of their rates or sellers are worried about where they're going to go. It's because realtors aren't giving them the comfort that they can pull off the transaction and get the dates for the buy side and the sell side to all match up. And I'm going to spend some time on that. So I want to go down the line. First thing I want to do now that we're in a changed market, and I know that we've got some things going on around the country that are rather interesting. Here I am in New England. We serve New England. We serve 5 of the 6 New England states, okay? Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Maine, New Hampshire, and then we also serve Florida. We serve South Florida. And it's interesting to me, I saw some people chiming in, they were from Miami, that we're kind of in 2 different markets now. Up here, granted, the seasonality plays a part. We have excessively low inventory. We're back to having buyers fight over homes again. And down in South Florida, inventory is creeping up. West Coast, inventory is creeping up. Austin, Texas, inventory is creeping up, okay? What does that mean? That means as that happens, just like we saw in the fall, even up here, buyers start to think that they can rule the roost. And buyers start to get a little more itchy, a little bit more concerned. And it's very important that realtors can easily talk to buyers about the benefits of home ownership, okay? Because for the last 2 or 3 years, what have buyers done? Buyers have obsessed with getting their value to go up. I got to stop looking at the comments. It's distracting me. Looking to get their value to go up. Everybody that was buying a home is literally saying, I'm going to change my view. Everyone that's was buying a home is like, oh, whatever, no big deal. Whatever happens at the home inspection, I don't care. Because in a year or 2, the value is going to be up 10%, 20%, 30%. Well, all of a sudden, the brakes have hit. Okay. And even in the lower inventory markets, I saw someone mention Michigan, Pennsylvania, a lot of the northern states in the winter. A lot of us northern states now, there's back to multiple offers, but it's not the same as it was a year ago. Interest rates are not what they were a year ago. I was just in a meeting down the hall. We're having our annual review meeting. And a year ago, right now, rates were 3.9. Today, they're 7%. Okay. So when that happens and buyers become less excited about appreciation and they don't believe in the asset growth, you have to make sure that you're able to talk to buyers about other benefits of home ownership, okay? There are many benefits to home ownership, and realtors should be able to explain them like nothing, okay? Number 1, how about control of your own domain? Control of your domain. Well, Mr. Buyer, when you're a tenant, you can't even paint your walls without getting permission. Getting a pet is challenging. Can't put a fence up in the yard for your dog. Whatever it may be, but you should be talking to would-be buyers, wanna-be buyers about the fact that they're not going to have as much control over their domain if they are renting as opposed to owning. That's one benefit of home ownership. What about another one? Set monthly payment. I hope you're taking notes. Set monthly payment. Okay. What happened last year when rates went up? Rates went up 1 point from May 23rd to June 10th. Fastest 1 point increase in like 50 years, okay? What happened after that in the months following? Did rents go up or down? Rents went up across the country. Chris is doing this. Rents went up across the country. Of course they did. Why? Because lots of people got knocked out of being able to buy. And what do? All right, screw it, I'll rent. So inventory of rentals went down even more. When inventory goes down, prices go up. When someone buys a home, they're usually getting a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. And I want agents to think that through. There's not a rental in the world unless you're doing you own a piece of land in the middle of Indianapolis and you're going to rent it for 50 years to Home Depot or Walmart. You're not getting a set payment in the residential real estate world as a tenant. It's not happening. You're not going to know your payment for 30 years, but when you buy, you do. Even an adjustable rate mortgage, it's much different than it was 15 or 20 years ago. Now the rate is set for 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. And then when it goes up, if it can go up, it's restricted on how much it can go up, maybe a point a year. There's much more security involved in that. And last but not least, the third home ownership benefit that I want to mention that people forget, in addition to asset growth, what about the mortgage interest deduction? Chris knows I'm very involved with the National Association of Realtors. Okay, we work with folks in Congress, and the National Association does a lot of things. I was chairman last year of Lending and Finance. Our association, our realtor dues have gone towards fighting to keep the mortgage interest deduction for years. When a buyer owns a home and they pay their mortgage every month, a very large percentage of that mortgage payment goes to interest. Buyers can write off and expense that interest toward their taxes to bring their taxes down. This is something that didn't really click in my head until a few years into owning a business 18, 19 years ago, when employees would say, hey, you know, I just got a check back for my taxes. It's bigger than ever, and I can't figure out why. And I started realizing and saying to people, well, you bought a home last May, didn't you? Okay, so you had 8 months of home ownership and interest payments. You can write off that interest. Those are things that people forget. So here's what I want to recommend to everyone. And I'm doing this on my other screen. I'm not distracted. Log on to, write this down, benefitsofhomeownership.com. Benefitsofhomeownership.com. That's a webpage we've set up on lamakiarealty.com, and it lists out those benefits. And there's videos of me explaining it. Folks, the first time I did a video on this was on my Instagram, at AJ Lamakia, over the summer. And it went berserk. I picked up hundreds of followers in 2 or 3 days without even pushing it that much. And I said, well, this is interesting. Then we took my Instagram link and we emailed it out to all buyers, and it went berserk. And I said, there's something here. Then we built the page, right? Then we taught our realtors to start talking about it. And sure enough, within 2 or 3 weeks, our realtors were reporting back, you know, I had a buyer that was hesitating and they were concerned, and now they're moving forward. Thank you, Jeremiah. You put it up right there. Benefitsofhomeownership.com. So I just want agents, it's a simple reminder to start off what I'm going over, to be intimately familiar and ready to explain those things. Because right now people are getting interest rate, anxiety. They're focusing on rates. They're focusing on, well, my value is not going to go up 10% in the next year. Yeah, you know what? It's probably not. Probably not. It might go down 2 or 3%, which actually would be a good thing for the market because it would increase affordability. We're in a situation where affordability is very low.